culture, economy, agriculture, research, healthcare, diversity, tradition. If we're asked to describe what India means to every one of us, it might take days, hours, or even weeks for us to do it. And that's understandable when we have 75 years of greatness behind us. As we celebrate another reminder that our amazingly resilient nation, one single year since, we at the New Indian Express wanted to join you in reliving some of those unforgettable moments and landmark achievements that have made we do. We are 75 of India's most intelligent, vibrant, and well-spoken school students from all across the country. We've got people from the length and breadth to look at some of India's most defining sectors and talk about how the last 75 years have been, and also look into the future and foresee how the next 75 years are going to be. Interesting, isn't it? Well, we're bringing it to you all year around as India enters a landmark year since independence. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's listen to young India. What is India today without its science, technology, innovation and research? Well, to talk about India's Nobel story, why our scientific achievements have been amazing and the future is bright, we have from Chennai, Advait Anand. Advait, take it away.
A wise man once said, "Science is a gift to humanity. One should not distort it." Warm greetings to one and all. I am Advait Anand of Class 8 from PSBB T Nagar, Chennai. Science and technology have paved the way for development in various countries, and so has it in India. Let us now entail in a journey and unravel the accomplishments of magnificent pioneers of science in our country. A noble story indeed. In the early 1990s, the liberalization policy helped revolutionize information technology and communication systems in our country. Who could be a better example than our ex-president Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam? In the wake of Cold War, several countries had reached great heights in the field of space technology. Abdul Kalam aided India get at par with these other countries. He was responsible for the development and execution of Agni and Prithvi missiles, India's first satellite launch vehicle, ballistic missiles, and headed multiple nuclear tests. There is no doubt he was thus given the name Missile Man of India. Quite metaphorically too, he was definitely the backbone behind launching our country into becoming global leaders of the world, just like one of his successful missiles. Homi Bhabha, an Indian scientist, won several accolades for his research and findings on quantum theory and cosmic radiation, which laid the foundation for this paradoxical concept. Thus he is known as the father of Indian nuclear program. The precedent set by these eminent scientists was vital for our country to lead various other programs in space technology such as Mars Orbital Mission, Chandrayaan, and emerge victorious as well. Since independence, various academies and institutions have been established such as IITs, NITs, IISCs, and ISAs in order to nurture the concepts of science and technology in young minds who will be the torch bearers of development in future. Scientists like C.V. Raman and Vikram Sarabhai have portrayed the importance of research and paper publications in the early years of independence. This culture of research is now growing in our country with various students from India beginning to unravel the intricacies of various scientific theories. In the past few years, we have seen various entrepreneurs in the field of tech dominating the global marketplace such as Sundar Pichai and Satya Nadella. Even university students are engaging in projects dealing with emerging technologies like blockchain, AI, and VR, thus paving the way for a more technologically sound India. A scientific mind kindles creativity. With the powerful weapon of technology, we as a community can catalyze this creativity into initiatives to boost the economic growth of our country. If we consistently keep up this momentum and keep encouraging science and technology, nothing can stop us from becoming global leaders very soon. Jai Hind.
You've seen the headlines, you shared the news, and you've fallen in love with hockey after India's stellar show at the Olympics. That's right, India's hockey team has made us all proud. And to talk about India's all-new hockey uprising, an undying Indian love story, we have all the way from Noida, Shrija Malik.
India, the secular country filled with undying potential, has a chance to touch the highest heights at every sector. Our faith on ourselves and our country makes the toughest of times memorable. The ever significant Indian love story with a fantastic national sport, hockey, is worth celebrating. The true capability of us is portrayed by the sport. From getting approximately 6 consecutive gold medals in the Olympics to winning a bronze after 41 years should not put us down, but make us feel proud. After so many years, we won back our prestige. This doesn't show the downfall of hockey, but the powerful ability and determination of the Indian hockey team players. We achieve when we dream. From being regarded as the best hockey team in the world in 1936 to winning countless medals in the Olympic history, giving birth to legendary sportsmen and reviving the once lost glory, proposes many leaps in this field in the future. As per my perspective, if hockey as a sport is promoted, well organized, profitably funded and deeply looked into, we have extremely bright chances to be undefeated in the path further. This issue that obstructs this is the lack of encouragement of this sport. Predominantly, most Indian schools have cricket, football, basketball and badminton. However, hockey is a sport occasionally heard of in this list. The unfortunate fact is that many people find it hard to accept hockey as a national sport. Why? Just because of the insufficient exposure to the sport. If educational institutions inculcate the sport and teach it appropriately, the youth, our future, would know and learn the sport, further pursuing it and persuading or motivating more people. Just a bit start and tons of determination leads to indefinite results. My insight on the whole sport future is India has a massive possibility to aspire several more goals and legends in hockey, only if we put a little effort to make it rise and fly high. I know we can do it. At last, we are the India. You are never a loser until you stop trying. 1928 Amsterdam Olympics marked the beginning of Indian hockey's magnificent run. The Indian men's hockey team, led by legendary Dhyan Chand, won their first Olympic gold medal. They repeated the feat at the 1932 Los Angeles Olympics and the 1936 Berlin Olympics to complete a memorable hat-trick and cement their status as the world's most dominant hockey team. Indian hockey reached a nadir at the 1976 Montreal Olympics, first time since 1924 that India was unable to win a single medal at the Olympics. But the legends regained some of their lost glory as they became Olympic champions at the 1980 Moscow Olympics, which remains their final Olympic hockey medal till date. Until 2021 Olympics Tokyo, a bronze medal after 41 years. The best hockey team once, with numerous consecutive gold medals, came back to the podium after 41 years. I call it the greatest moment in the history of sports, as we, even after the dramatic downfall, never lost hope. India, my invincible India. Happy Independence Day to everybody. Signing off, Shrija Malik.
All the way from Tiruvalla is Kaijun Devakar, who's here to talk about something that we in India are very passionate about. That's right, agriculture, green thumb, all about India's green revolution and how technology has transformed everything from the tractor to IoT-enabled agriculture. Let's hear it from Kai.
Agriculture means more than agriculture. It defines our cultural identity, it decides our existence, it fuels our economy. But most importantly, it is our connection with nature. My name is Kaijun. I'm a 7th grader from the Choice School, Tiruvalla. In 1943, our nation faced one of the worst famines in our history. Nearly 3 million people lost their lives in the Bengal famine. Since independence, our agriculture sector has grown 4 times in terms of average farm yield. Our nation has taken several bold social reforms, such as abolishing the zamindari system, putting ceilings on land holdings, reformed tenancy laws, and consolidated landholding. Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, the famous slogan from our former Prime Minister, Lal Bahadur Shastri, shows the importance of our agriculture sector along with our defense sector. We had a green revolution and a white revolution in the 60s. As we celebrate 75 years of independence, we must ask an important question. How can we bring our agriculture sector towards a sustainable future? We still have 60% of our population depending on our agriculture sector. The challenges ahead of us are tough and complex. We must tackle the risks associated with climate change. We must ensure our food security without compromising our food safety. We must evolve, innovate, and adopt new techniques into farming. We must bring our young generation into farming. We need to do more research and development, and we need to harness the possibilities through technology. I have a simple and radical solution to one of the major challenges that the agriculture sector is facing. My grandfather's farm faced a water shortage a few years ago. He spent thousands of rupees on digging bore wells, but he had no luck. Several farmers in our community are also facing a water crisis, be it a drought or a flood. Here is my solution. We must involve bigger corporations to invest in mega irrigation projects. They can come up with advanced water management systems to ensure and provide affordable irrigation solutions for our farmers. Let us invest in our agriculture sector. As the saying goes, once in your lifetime, you may need a doctor or a lawyer, but 3 times a day, you need a farmer. Thank you.
Everybody loves talking about the economy all year around, and it's not just a budget thing. Well, from Hyderabad, we have Charu Hasani to talk about the rupee's journey, India's currency in the global market, and how it has risen over time.
Hello everyone. Well, the glorious India that you see today was not all that hunky-dory when it all started. India's democratic freedom was unique among the world's newly independent states. The nation has faced religious violence, casteism, Naxalism, terrorism, and regional separatist insurgencies. We were known to have the best of natural resources, minerals, etc. First the Mughals, then the British had plundered all of that. They left us with 16% literacy rate, no infrastructure, roads, power, and deep-rooted poverty. We were called as the land of snake charmers and peasants. Today, India is the biggest democracy with the average age being 29, which means we are potentially the youthful, productive, dynamic, young population ready to work and transform the world. We are also known as the pharmacy of the world, supplying 60% of generic medicines and vaccines globally. And the most dominant service sector contributes to 55% of India's GDP, attracting significant foreign investments and providing large-scale employment with an expanding IT industry. India is considered a technological superpower and the world's office. As per the World Bank, the economy of India is growing at 9% on an average and is currently the world's 5th largest in terms of GDP. India's stock markets and rupee movement share a strong positive correlation. When the markets go up, rupee appreciates and vice versa. The FII holds 20% in Indian stock markets. We are a $3 trillion economy as of 2021. We aim to touch the $5 trillion economy by 2030, which also translates to becoming a global economic powerhouse, in turn, having a stable currency. According to me, simply put, the next 75 years, India has to reach the 95% literacy rate. There has to be equal distribution of income between all strata of people. Skill and reskilling to be prioritized. Inclusive growth. Moral leaders and businessmen. Dependency on imports from other countries. By choosing Make in India products and moving towards manufacturing electric vehicles. It took us 75 years to reach where we are. We may just need half the time to become a global superpower, provided we do the right things in the right way. I also believe India should be a permanent member at the UNSC with the economic and military might by 2030, which can have huge influence like the other superpowers. Let the world hear it loud and clear. India is awake. We shall prevail and we shall overcome. Thank you.
The news today is overrun by COVID and India's healthcare sector has never been in more focus. Well, Minerva Siddhi from Bhubaneswar, who's going to be talking to us about India's immune response and the country's incredible immunization journey and what comes next.
At the outset, let me quote and remind ourselves the legendary poet Kalidasa. Sarira Madhyam Khadu Dharma Sadhanam. Good health is essential for a happy and fruitful life. It's also echoed as health is wealth and prevention is better than cure. Ever since the discovery of the first vaccine against smallpox by Edward Jenner, humanity became aware of the various forms of microbes which enter our body and wrought havoc. During colonial rule, some preventive measures were taken, but they weren't adequate for a vast and diverse topography like India. After independence, smallpox, polio, diphtheria, cholera, malaria, etc. assumed epidemic proportions and caused millions of deaths and infirmities. But with our sincere efforts and strong immunization drive, we were successful in eradicating smallpox and polio completely. Vaccine against TB, cholera, malaria, filaria, etc., though not eradicated completely, are controlled to a large extent. Triple antigen vaccination to newborn babies has saved many precious lives. Due to these steps, the life expectancy, which stood just 32 years at independence, is 70 years at present, which is at par with any developed nation. As time advances, new forms of microbes either develop naturally or are lab designed. HIV, H1N1, Zika, Ebola, Japanese encephalitis, etc. invaded very quickly as the world is getting transferred into a global village. With our strong immunization drive, India not only withstood the onslaughts, rather been able to support others in the time of need. The present COVID-19 virus, which originated in Wuhan, is a matter of global concern. The COVID crisis has clear lessons for what we can do now to stop a future global health emergency. Unless we take necessary action, another pandemic is inevitable in the coming years. For future pandemics to be managed more effectively and efficiently, we have to advance in biotechnology. Through further research, we may soon have the capacity and capability to replace existing vaccines with antigens that are more efficacious, safer, and less expensive. These vaccines, with improved immunogenicity and stability, will help in utilization of immunization. In the next 75 years, India will produce recombinant DNA vaccines that will contain RNA of a virus harmlessly. We have to advance in biotechnology. Through further research, we may soon have the capacity and capability to replace existing vaccines with antigens that are more efficacious, safer, and less expensive. These vaccines, with improved immunogenicity and stability, will help in utilization of immunization. In the next 75 years, India will produce recombinant DNA vaccines that will contain RNA of a virus harmless to humans, and once injected will produce large amounts of antigen that will stimulate our immune system. The foundation of nanotechnology-based pharmaceutical industry of India is capable to cope with unforeseen circumstances that may occur in the near future. Jai Hind!
India. It's more than an emotion. It's more than mere words. It's more than just a country. It's what defines us. It's who we are. So join us. Let's celebrate India at 75. I'd like to take this opportunity to wish every single one of you a very happy Independence Day. Remember, stay safe, wear a mask, get vaccinated. Let's fight COVID together.